It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
So I'm back to give y'all the tea of a roommate situation, where it turned into a horror story, literally, and I hope it's over, you know? But I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a backstory of how I ended up there in the first place, if that's okay with you. So hold on tight. And just a little disclaimer, this is a very long story. So if you're willing to stay for the tea, it's piping hot, stick around, you feel me? Follow, comment, and just keep track because there's a lot going on. All right, guys, so I've always been the type of person that's been on my own since I was like 17, 18 years old. Always had my own place to stay, didn't have help, always had my own car, you know, stuff like that. And after COVID happened, fortunately I was not one of the lucky ones, but after COVID happened, I could no longer afford my future plans, which were like buying a house, you know, saving up to do what I want to do, you know. So of course the affordable option is, of course, to get rid of that and go get roommates. I stayed in somewhere else before going where this horror story began, for 6 months, which I only wanted to stay there 6 months because I don't want to get comfortable. So after I left there, and how I ended up, you know, leaving was one day I was at work and, you know, people were telling me about one of my coworkers, we're going to call him Roberto, had a room for rent. And by the way, Roberto is not straight male. I don't think I would ever move in with a straight male, but he was a gay male. But Roberto was renting a room and everyone was telling me about it, right? So I go to Roberto. I'm basically like, I need a place to stay right now. I heard you're renting a room. How much is it? He's like, oh, girl, yes. I've been needing somebody to move in and help me with the rent for the longest. You're going to help me a lot. I'm only going to charge you $800 a month and I'm going to charge you $1,000 to move in, right? So I'm like, in there like swimwear. $800 a month? Where? Of course. What? I could pull that on my ass, you know? So basically, I go to this place that night and, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna show y'all what it looked like that night. The bathroom specifically, now the room was okay, but
ooh.
And the rail I threw in there was the rail that was outside of my door. But, you know, I ain't tripping. Of course, I can clean it up. $800 a month? Duh. And side note, when I told him, like, hey, can I get a little discount? Because I clean this dirty-ass bathroom. He like, you must not got it like that. Red flag number 1. We're going to continue, though. But like I said, it was what it was. I could clean it up. $800 a month. You can't beat that. As long as you don't got roaches, I'm okay with it. But basically, if you want to find out how a friend of mine turned into someone who's framing me, getting at my dude, and took me on Just Judy. And before I get started with part 2, I just want to let you guys know information I forgot to mention in the first video, which was there were other people living there as well, which other roommates, which was his best friend, we'll just call her Brianna, and his cousin Chad. We'll call him Chad. Okay, so y'all, so basically months go by of us, me and Roberto, building this friendship after I move in, and you know, we're not super close, but we're still closer than we were before. But yeah, just to get this story on a roll, 3 months go by. 2 weeks prior to when all the main events happened, I was basically told we were being evicted and that the process basically began in April. Mind you, y'all, I moved in what? June. And not just that, y'all, but I only had 2 weeks to figure out somewhere to go. And then on top of all that, the apartment was never in Roberto's name. It was in his sister's name. And we'll call her Susan. Mind you, when I was told that we were being evicted, it was by Roberto. And Roberto was telling me why. And his reason was that his best friend was not paying rent. And not only was his best friend not paying rent, but his cousin was giving all his money that he was making at work to child support. And that because of this, they were so behind. Let me backtrack real quick. I knew the apartment was in his sister's name, but I didn't know it was only in her name. You catch my drift? And y'all, because I had been paying rent this whole time, and I just found out that the apartment was in his sister's name, I call her and we talk for the first time, really. Yeah, we talk, and basically she tells me what I was told by Roberto, which was that the best friend wasn't paying rent, the cousin wasn't paying rent, and Roberto wasn't paying either. And that he was taking trips and ignoring her phone calls. And she didn't understand why we went through him anyway, and such and such and such. And basically told me I had another month to stay. Oh, wait. How could I forget? When I saw the eviction papers, by the way, we were told, all of us, or me and the best friend were told the rent was $2,800. We found out the rent was only $2,300. So yeah, there's that as well. But according to the best friend, she had been paying her rent, and I believe her. A week goes by and things start to go down. So last thing I told y'all pretty much was like how the eviction process started, and just what led up to that, and like the weirdness about all that. But it was neither here nor there. All I knew was I had to move, and I was planning on doing so. Before we get into this part of the story, I have to mention a few things about Roberto. One being, currently Roberto is like booed up with this guy who's like DL, who I also used to talk to when I was like 15 before I met Roberto. Coincidence, and that's not the issue. The thing is, Roberto like would constantly make it a thing to mention that I used to date this guy who is cuddling up with him. He makes it a thing, like every time he talks about him. Oh, they dated. Like he's proud of this or whatever. But that's one thing to mention. Second thing to mention, when you fraternize with him, or whenever anybody fraternizes with him about like people he's talking to, he has a thing for DL men in general, and basically like will tell you like, oh, look at this guy, he has a daughter, or he has a wife or a girlfriend, and he, look how he's flirting with me, and stuff like that. But that's not the point. The point is to say these are things that I take note before I'm telling you this next part. So one night, me and my boyfriend at the time, who doesn't live with me, by the way, but he would come over, but not all the time, but he would be over there. Boyfriend at the time, we get into it, and on his way out the door that morning, he's all sad and shit, being fucking dramatic. And Roberto sees him and is like, hey, bro, what's up? Like, you good? And my boyfriend's like, yeah, basically, like, she don't want to be with me no more. You're not going to see me around. And Roberto's like, yeah, bro, do you? You handsome, you tall, you handsome, worry about you. Cause, Nigel had some guy up there. Nigel had a guy over. Oh, yeah, and he was light-skinned. Yeah, he was light-skinned. Oh. And basically the conversation lasted a few minutes, and then they part ways. And I found out about this conversation later that night. And guys, of course I'm fucking hurt. I'm like, this is the homie. This is supposed to be my friend, my roommate. What the fuck going on here? Regardless if I had a nigga up here or not, what the fuck is going on here? So yeah, guys, of course I feel away, and I'm just basically like, but it is what it is. We getting evicted. I ain't gotta see this motherfucker again. He was getting transferred from the job, so I'm like, oh yes, I'll be good. I ain't gotta, like, you're weird. Like, you're no longer my friend. And I never told him that I knew about the conversation. I just kind of just didn't see him. I was on the 3rd floor. My room was the only one up there. Everybody else was downstairs. So there was no reason for me to talk to bro. So one night, y'all, I'm basically giving myself some mini twist. And I'm doing my hair privately in the confinements of my space that I pay for. And I'm watching Netflix. My back is like, face like this. Like, that's the door. My back is like watching my computer screen and doing my hair, like, And Roberto walks to my door in just his underwear, butt booty naked, but just his underwear, on speakerphone with some broad. And I'm basically like, what's up? He just stands there, still talking to the girl on the phone, not saying anything, what he wants, in his underwear. And I'm like, what's up? He just puts his finger up. I'm like, what's up? He just puts his finger up, expecting me to wait. And I close the door. I close the door in his face. Yes. So after I close the door, he's basically like, open the door. I open the door, like, you ready to talk? And he like, go up, blew the fuck up. Basically was just like, bitch, don't be slamming the door in my face, bitch. I come up here to fuck to you, blase, blase. We got into an argument. I'm basically like, you still didn't tell me what the fuck you wanted, like, for real. And he was just like, blah, 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 utilities, and that go. And it was a whole thing, and he walks away. He storms off, may I say. He storms off, and then a few moments later, I receive this text. And then a few moments after that, my boyfriend at the time sent me a text or DM that he received from Roberto. And here it is. So it's like, first of all, why do you feel like you can just be hitting up my nigga? But you don't know for real. That's not the point. I get this screenshot. I'm like, wait, hold on. Why are there messages above this message? What the f are y'all talking about? Like, send me this right now. Screen recording. So he sends me a screen recording. And forgive me. But you know how people slow, right? Like, people be slow. Like, my boyfriend, time slow. He gonna DM this fool. Basically, like, thank you for the talk. And Roberto's like, if you ever want to smoke and chill, let me know.
Roberto was about to trap that nigga.
Guys, basically after that, I'm not gonna hold you. I broke up with my boyfriend. I didn't feel comfortable. I felt like, why did you DM to say thank you if you already saw him in person to say goodbye and thank you in person? Like, what was the reason for you to DM this guy and say thank you? And I don't, no. Not fucking with it. It's not happening. Not to mention, we've discussed that he likes GL men, and, you know, we know he's not bisexual. You know, this is a gay male, like. And then you liking the message where he talking about some smoke and chill. Smoke, you want to smoke and talk. You liking the message, like, miss me, please. You know, of course, like, I can go to a whole nother thing of, you know, that, but we just gonna get into Roberto. So basically I broke up with him, and, you know, he wasn't happy about that. And, you know, the messages that I showed you guys where he basically hit him up was like, I don't fuck with Niger G, she annoying, blase, blase, after I closed the door in his face because he was standing in my doorway with underwear on, with nothing to say. He finally responded to that after like a day or so, and basically told him, you know, you just set up, like, you're messy. You know, I genuinely was like, blase, blase, but you a hater for real. You ain't got no real niggas in your life, etc., etc. And this is all happening while I'm at work. So
I'll read the text message. I do normally read the text message. She be going fast, but there you go. It says, to the comment you sent the other day, bro, I know you messy as hell for real. I don't know why you sent me that, knowing I'ma know the truth to the situation. That's my girl. We not doing no messy stuff. Making stuff like her attitude is the issue when the whole living situation is BS. She pay her stuff and she not forced to get up and leave because you got issue with her. I'm not the type of nigga. I don't know what was thought, but that's not me. The gossiping to me, like, that stuff is cool, it's crazy. You are weird and messy and annoying. You do the most, and that's probably why you don't have no real niggas in your life. I don't know why you thought you could get at me behind her back, and why you thought you could say stuff to me about her. Ain't nothing sweet, nigga. Ain't gonna ever be sweet. So this is her boyfriend messaging the guy again.
So y'all just seen those messages. Nowhere in the messages does, you know, my boyfriend at the time threaten him or like tell him like, look, bro, I need a fade. Like, none of that. It's really him telling like, you's a weirdo. Like, you's a weirdo. So guys, I get off of work around like 4. I got off at like 3, didn't really get in and sleep till like 4 something. Slept, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, guys. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I hear a bang, 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 chicka, bang, 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 chicka, bang, 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 bang on my door. And it was 7:15 to be exact, because when I heard that chicka, bang, bang on my freaking door, I looked at my clock like, hold on. Like, what was happening? So he put this hole in my door in that process. So basically, he's banging on my door, asking if my boyfriend at the time's in there, and how he's gonna beat his behind, and how he got something for me, and he got something for him, and how he knocked niggas out, and all this. This 6'4" male is banging on my door, asking to beat me up, and my boyfriend. So I grab my bottle. I look, there's a bottle on the floor. I grab it. I open my door. So I grabbed the bottle, and basically we're arguing, and I called my boyfriend at the time, and I'm basically like, Roberto was here threatening me and looking for you. He's like, yeah, I know. And he sends me these messages right here that Roberto sent to him.
Yeah. One, I got plenty of real ninjas in my life. Nobody wants you, ninja. You came to me crying about her, so I offered advice. Mind you, she's the same B who called you suicidal. 3, she's not on the list, nor did she give her first and last. May I remind you, I'm doing her a favor from drunk. I tried to give her an extra month for free, and now that stuff is dead. Also, anything you need to say can be said to my face. I don't go back and forth with men. And if you're telling her I'm trying to talk to you, I need your hands, flat out. I don't do the back and forth. I told you nothing but the truth. If you want to spin this and make it seem like I'm trying to talk to you, then let's do it. Do what? Happy birthday, Leslie. It says, I don't go back and forth. Flat out, I don't do the back and forth. I told you nothing but the truth. If you want to spin this, try to make it seem like this bitch has spoke to multiple men. I ain't the only one who saw you trying to go hard for a woman that wouldn't even do the same for you. Like I said, if you need that, I'm here, young buck. He says, I'm on the way. The guy, Roberto, says, perfect. Best believe I got you.
So clearly you saw Roberto was sending out threats, trying to fight, all that other stuff, and he was threatening me in my face. Whole time I'm texting his sister like, can you get your brother? Like, your brother is tripping. Can you get him? And she like, I don't know why he gets like this, because this is a thing that he does. And, you know.
She says, y'all should be asleep. She says, I was asleep. The sister says, so what's the issue? She says, he's the issue. Came knocking on my door tripping, but I'm not the one or two. So shit. And then she says, the sister says, saying what? She says, I got the voice memos. Okay, girl, ignore him. I told him to leave you alone. Let me know if he bothers you. Then she replies, like, what's wrong with him? This ninja is in these threats. I called my father in front of his face. So he thinks that's a threat. Your brother's delusional. The sister says, ignore him. I spoke to him. I have no idea why he gets like this. SMH. She says, if emergency, call me back to back. Then she sends a voice memo, and then she sends us a picture of, I'm guessing, Roberto at the end of the hallway down the stairs.
Then when I see that Roberto was not leaving me alone, I call my dad. My dad's like, what? And he calls my brother. My brother calls me, and he's like, look, I'm on my way to work. Do you need me to stop by? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. So my brother pulls up. He doesn't know the apartment. He doesn't know what anybody looks like. He doesn't know where it is. He really doesn't know anything. So he waits outside for me to come outside and meet him, right? So from my brother's perspective, he's outside waiting, and then Roberto comes out, but he doesn't know what Roberto looks like. He just knows some tall, linky motherfucker comes out and tells him, I don't know what she told you, bro, but it is not it. And then ran into his room, ran into the door, and into his room, and locked it. So my brother's like, come outside, bro. Like, we can talk it out. We can duke it out. But I seen the messages. You're tripping. Like, what's going on? You're a grown-ass man. What are you doing? My brother does not want to come outside. So my brother's like, I got to go to work. Peace out. pretty much like, if you need me, call me. But seems like he don't want no smoke. So I'm like, clearly, right? Whatever. Bye. My boyfriend pulls up with his friend because Roberto's in the room with his cousin. They don't want to come outside. We're telling them to come outside. You done sent all these threats. You said you're going to shoot me. You're going to beat me up. You're going to knock niggas out. All this. But you don't want to come outside. At all. So we're like, we don't need to do this no more. We're going to go smoke. We're going to chill out and have the rest of our day. Like, period. As we're walking to the car to go smoke, guess who freaking pull up? The police. The police pull up. The police pull up and they basically tell us that Roberto and his cousin both called the police and basically was like, 6 men are outside with guns and sticks trying to jump us or whatever, right? And then when the police pulled up, they didn't see nobody outside. They just saw me, my boyfriend, and his friend. So they were just like, clearly that was a lie. I don't know what's going on here, but y'all need to chill out or we're going to have to come back and arrest somebody. And we need to agree to peace. And all that. And he tried to tell them, like, Roberto tried to tell them I didn't pay rent there, that I didn't live there. They're like, well, she showed us she clearly lived there. She clearly pays rent. We can't make her leave. Like, and he's basically like, are you kidding? Like, he's very upset about that. And they're like, you gonna agree to peace? I'm like, yes, I agree to peace because it was never my issue in the first place. I was asleep. I got work at 5. It is now like 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Like, I don't want these issues. So they're like, all right, she agrees to peace. Do you agree to peace? He was basically like, yeah, but you could tell he didn't want it. But since the police was there, you know, they didn't do nothing. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be done. The police leave. And after the police leave, Roberto texts my boyfriend these messages right here.
Oh, I don't go to back and forth. We already read those.
When he texts him that, we're like, this guy is dead ass. Like, what's wrong with him? But we don't think he's going to do anything, right? So I go to sleep because I got work later. After I'm in bed asleep, I hear Roberto come through my door, and he's like, Maisha. But he sees me sleeping on my bed, and he closes it. Once I realized it was him, I grab my phone, and I start recording. But I didn't get anything on camera, and that's this video here. And I'm also in a daze, too. So I'm like, because you're walking at 7 o'clock in the morning, didn't get to sleep, blase, you know, all that.
Straight.
And so I wake up, after I text my manager, like, I'm going to be a little late. But, like, I wake up, I noticed my phone didn't charge because the electricity is off, right? I'm like, whatever. I get in the shower, I get ready, and on my way to my car, I noticed that, like, the apartment is empty. Like, is empty, right? And I'm like, cool, like, fine. We gotta leave in a couple days anyway. Fine. I go to my car to go to work, and I notice I'm on 4 flat tires in the garage.
Damn.
So the apartment's empty, electricity is off, and all 4 of my tires are slashed. I have no charge on my phone. My phone's on like 2%. I can't charge my phone. Call the police. They're like, make an online report because they can't do nothing about it. There was no cameras. I call my manager, tell them what's happening. They're like, okay, you don't have to come to work today. I grab my charger from my station to get my phone to charge, but my car's not charging my phone. So I call my boyfriend at the time, like, I need you to slide through right now because I need some emotional support ASAP. So yeah, so when all this happened, when I found out I was on 4 flat tires, it was like 6:30ish, and basically tire shops was closing up. I couldn't get a tow in time to come and take me to a tire shop, and also I needed a flatbed, and flatbeds are rare comparatively. And yeah, I couldn't get my car out of the garage that night, and there was no electricity in the house. Couldn't charge my phone. Couldn't stay there. So when my boyfriend left work and finally came and got me, we went to get food and basically chilled in the car. I finally got my phone to turn on. We chilled in the car and just make sure, like, Roberto wasn't on no weird stuff still, right? And after that, I kind of like secured my room, and then I had him take me somewhere else to go to sleep, which was my uncle's house. I had to sleep somewhere else, and then he went home, right? Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Roberto's on his whole little cyberbullying moment he has going on. Just getting on the internet, just like lying, just talking the ultimate of mess at this point. He even posted like, the only thing dirty is her panties, and like posted some panties, right? But y'all, when I typed in dirty panties on a white shelf, the first picture to pop up was the picture he used, and I'm like, so you're a lazy liar, and you're weird, and you're misogynistic, because truth be told, why are you taking pictures of my panties if they were real? Why are you doing that? But I'm gonna show y'all that. And then you're gonna basically see like his story of him going on this rant talking about how he want to get me touched and the green light this and green light that.
Oh, hold on. This brown pantyhose Nyjah just tried to get me jumped by 6 ninjas. Her ninja came at 7 in the morning talking about how she beats him, calls him names, and says wants him out of his life. I simply told bro to worry about himself and move the F on, just like a person with common sense would. This trick decides to go around my job and tell people I'm dirty. I don't pay my bills and I'm trying to F her man. Please read the messages and tell me where I tried to F her man. Need to talk, bro. Thanks a lot. Needed that talk, bro. Thanks a lot. Wants out with her, but like you said, can't myself in that. Yeah, vocalize how you feel, and if y'all can't come to a clear understanding and move on. May seem hard now, but if you put all that energy into yourself, promise things will start working in your favor. Hit me up if you ever need to talk. Niggas can always smoke and chop it up. Yeah. No. I think he was. Work. Keep yourself occupied with work. You'll be too tired to cry. Trust me. You'll be fine. Take this as a warning, as a learning experience. He said, LOL, I don't got no tears at all. Good. No need to be down or nothing. Just growth for real. This won't be your first heartbreak, G. People gonna let you down a lot as you get older. Oh, she just went through that one real fast. Damn. I'm talking about these messages going. That one, it's just going by too fast. I ain't gonna catch it. So back to the 6 Negroes. This dummy called 6 Negroes to fight me. They banging on the walls and hollering my name, telling me to come outside. 5 of my white neighbors come outside to call the police. Now sis is trying to say I'm scary and dirty, and that I want her man. I mean, this is the only thing dirty is this hoe's panties. And who the F will come outside to fight 6 guys? I would not. It's out. I'm not scared of no ninja, but 6, bye. So at this point, I've decided to dead all his roommates and live on my own. It's crazy how someone can beg you for help, you help them, and they switch up on you. It's truly some broke beast. And I've officially learned my lesson. Everyone who knows me knows I have a big heart and I'm willing to help anybody. But this right here just taught me some real stuff. And that is you cannot help strays, and I need to stop having roommates. People need to understand what it takes to be an adult until they get out there and do it on their own. I got too much going on for myself to be caught up with some brown pantyhose. Ooh-wee. As much as I love to get this bitch touch, I realize that she's a broke thought with nothing to lose. You cannot fight stupid with stupid. Instead, I choose to remove my items and kick back in a 5-star hotel until my new place is ready. She, on the other hand, will be in an empty townhome with no electricity or water with her brown panties and 20-year-old boyfriend. Bro, if you was in a five-star hotel, you could have paid that rent then. Getting evicted. Yes, I am okay. No, I'm not worried at all. And I thank everyone involved for coming to me and not listening to her dumb, foolish lies. God has, I'm guessing, giving me strength and money to live a better life. And that's what I'm going to start doing. Helping others has gotten me nowhere. And I know I say this a lot, but I'm truly going to focus on myself.
He's posting how he took all his stuff and packed all his stuff and checked into a 5-star hotel, and how he turned off electricity, just telling on himself. But like, bro, what are you doing? But yeah, so the next morning comes, I go get my car. I go there early in the morning to get my car because I gotta go. And I'm not trying to be around. I'm not trying to be around. Nobody is around. And I also plan to go to U-Haul. So after the tow truck takes us to a tow across town, because they were the only ones open super duper early, we ended up waiting forever because I also get a wheel alignment, but the guy who had to do it was not there. We waited there forever. Went and got food finally after, and then from there went to the U-Haul spot to get me a truck so I can get my stuff and I can go. While I'm at the U-Haul spot, his sister texts me like, the apartment's messed up. And I'm in shock. I'm like, call me. What the fuck? And so we're on the phone. She was like, yeah, the apartment's messed up. I'm like, girl, I do not give a fuck. I'm basically like, he done pissed off multiple people. I don't know what's going on with your brother, but is my stuff okay? Like, but is my stuff okay? Like,
why is he like this? I'm leaving ASAP. Can't get tires fixed until tomorrow, so there's that. Let's see. Call me. The apartment's messed up and he's gone. Call me. What time are you coming so I can make sure no one else is there? I don't know. IDW, any other conflict I'm done with? 5 minutes away, my dude. This is getting out of hand.
And I told her, I said, basically, I'm on my way. I'm having somebody else pull up first, which was my boyfriend, and I'm about to be pulling up with my brothers so that they can help me pack my shit and go.
All right, cool. I'm sorry I've been late, but y'all, the story just added like chapters to it. Like, he's still harassing me to this day, and honestly, whatever. But we're gonna go back to the story.
Please do.
So after his sister texted me and said the apartment was messed up, and my boyfriend at the time, basically went over there to make sure my shit was okay. He gets, this is at this point from his perspective, but he says he gets there. He sees some girl standing at a car, like 2 cars in front of him, out a window. But he doesn't think anything of it. He goes into the apartment, but like it's empty, but it's trashed. And he said that it was trashed. And the sister wasn't there, the one that texted us. No one was there. It was empty. And he goes upstairs to go see if my stuff's okay. And he tells me my stuff's okay. And he's telling me like how the apartment is and all that. And when he goes back downstairs, Roberto, but to be honest, I don't even give a fuck anymore about his name. Roberto, Carlosi, whatever the fuck, came in through the door with like some females, and when he went down, like all the way down the steps, police came in through, like right behind them, and basically guns drawn, put their guns in his face, and was like, we were told there were 6 men up here. Where is everybody at? Like we were told there were 6. You had people upstairs, like with you, like and where's everybody at? And he's like, I don't have nobody up there. He's like, well, we're gonna see, but are you sure and all that? And he's like, yeah, there ain't nobody here. I just got here type. And so they go upstairs, like they bust in there and they don't see nobody, and they're like, okay. So at this point, I'm speeding. I'm in the U-Haul, speeding to go like over there. Like, what? Like, what's going on? And I'm ready to fight, to be honest, because the last thing I heard on the phone was he had brought some bitches. Like, he just hung up the phone and like just went click. Like, something happened. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah. I get there and it's like basically swarming with police, like swarming. Like the first time they came, it was a little bit. This time they came, it was a lot of it, you know? So I'm like asking them what happened, like what happened? And they're like, do you live here? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, are your things upstairs? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what happened to the apartment? I'm like, what happened to the apartment? Like, to be honest with you, I don't know. So after that, I'm like waiting outside, waiting for my boyfriend to come outside. Like, you know, they're like, well, they have him in cuffs, but they're not letting them all out, like, for whatever reason. I don't know. But basically, they're waiting for him to come outside, and they're just, like, asking us questions, keep asking us questions. I'm like, bro. And then he's like, why is your stuff the only thing that's not messed up? I'm like, what? Like, to be honest, I don't know shit. Like, I ain't even seen the apartment. And they're like, well, you know, they can't do anything. And I was telling them, like, about what happened previously. And they were like, well, are you moving? And I was like, yeah, that's why I just came from the U-Haul. Like, I just came from the U-Haul. Like, I have the truck right here. And all this stuff, right? Like, I'm telling them that. Like, we both just came from U-Haul. Like, he just came in his car first when his, you know, sister texted that the apartment was messed up. Like, you know, and so they let him out of cuffs and he came outside. And we're just, like, talking about it. And I just, like, we're, like, honestly super fucking flabbergasted. And we just really can't believe what the freak is going on right now. So, basically, after, like, hours, y'all, hours of being out there talking about nothing, like, nothing's getting done. I'm just trying to pack my stuff. After hours, they walk up to me and they're basically like, do you know anything about a bag of jewelry? And I'm like, what? Like, really, that was my face. Like, I swear to God. I was like, what are you talking about right now? And they're like, yeah, he claims that you stole a bag of jewelry and that his sister saw you do it. And I'm like, these lying ass niggas. Like, I'm like, y'all want to check my car? Like, what we doing? Like, and so the chief is basically like, we're going to put you under a citizen's arrest, like a PPA or whatever, because there's no proof. But because he claimed that he had a witness, his sister claimed she saw it, then they had the grounds to arrest me, right? So I go, and y'all, I'm super fucking shook. Like, I'm shook. And as they're, like, arresting me, he's sitting there laughing, taking videos, like, and he looks at me. I look up at this motherfucker. He looks at me, he says, he's like, literally, like, and I'm like, this motherfucker, like, my mama told me about niggas like you. So I do want to make note of, like, you know, his sister did fucking text me and told me to tell her when I was pulling up and told me that the apartment was messed up. And when my boyfriend got there, you weren't even there, bitch. And within 5 minutes, the police were coming through the front door, like, guns drawn, thinking there were people there. Like, this is crazy. But, and on top of that, like, when it don't work out, motherfucker, you tell them that I stole a bag of jewelry, but you know I ain't steal, motherfucker. You wear all your jewelry on your neck, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, and you posted that you took your shit and left and went to a hotel. You posted that. So if you took your stuff, why did you leave behind a bag of jewelry? And you got your sister claiming she's something. But that's not the point. We're going to get back to the story. So, after they let me out and they told me I could sue him and stuff, like, I picked up with my boyfriend. We went back. No one was there, thank God. I saw the apartment. It was freaking trash. I'm probably gonna drop pictures in the next story time when I you know, but the apartment was fucking trash. And like,
I got a feeling we ain't getting a Judge Judy.
My spot was the only one that wasn't ruined, but that wasn't true, because like all the other roommates, all their stuff was fine, and my stuff actually was touched. Like, shit was missing, I had a jar of weed. It was gone. It was like display weed somebody gave me as a gift. I was like, this shit trash. Put that shit in the jar, and I put it in display, and this nigga took it. Took my fast charger. He took my birth certificate, my expired ID. I had my car tags in there, and they took those. Like, it's like a bunch of shit. Like, which, to be honest, I don't even really, just thinking about it right now just kind of triggered me. But neither here nor there, I packed my shit that night and I got the fuck on, and I didn't even look back.
The conclusion. Carlos Guillen claims his former roommate, Nigel Hive, and her boyfriend, Gallo Jume, vandalized his property. Nigel is countersuing, claiming Carlos had her falsely arrested.
Okay, so if there is no other proof, what?
May I interject, please?
Sure.
Over the situation that he's trying to say that happened on the 27th, that even led to the whole craziness that we see in the photos over the vandalism, is a lie. And in his police reports, I don't know if he'll show you the police report or anything that happened, details and dictates everything of what the situation is.
May I see the police report?
came to
Do
her-
you have the police report?
She has.
I was not able to get the police report because I am listed as a suspect. I'm not a
Let's see.
victim, so they wouldn't give it to
Okay.
me. But if I may interject, because you're
I'm
gonna
reading something.
need more information to understand.
These are all pictures of your room,
Yes, ma'am.
ransacked.
Yeah, my room and then the living room as well.
The living room sofa, but this is your room.
That's my room.
This is your bed. Yes, you wanted to say something.
Yes, so Your Honor, as far as the room goes, I just want to add that there were multiple people living there. I moved in June while him and his family member went through an eviction process in April. So multiple people found out that we had to leave randomly. And so I wholeheartedly believe that someone else did this.
That's not true.
I can't
Don't interrupt her.
Sorry.
show you proof that he did it. To be honest with you, I don't know who did it, but I know I didn't, and I know he was with me as well. And
What about your brother? Was he with you?
my brother's,
I'm just asking you.
No.
What about your father? Was your father with you?
No.
Okay.
My father,
Just a second. I just asking you. The plaintiff said that there were 6 other people that came to the door, other than your brother. Who else came to the door?
no one.
Okay, so your brother just came alone.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when he came, was the plaintiff still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And he stayed when the plaintiff left?
No,
Did he
Your Honor.
Okay. Well, go through the timeline with me. He came because you called your father called your brother because you were having difficulty, okay? And your father sent your brother right over and said, you better get over there. She's having difficulty with this guy. You go over there and straighten it out, whatever it is. How old is your brother?
My brother is 22.
22. Big, little.
He's slightly taller than me. He is more built, maybe like the size of the bailiff. A
Okay,
little shorter.
just a second. Okay, good. So when he came over, and you let him in?
No, he did not come in.
He
I
did
didn't let
not
him
come into the house at all.
in. Not until Carlos opened up the door.
Just a second, well, I'm asking you.
I
He
didn't let
came
him
into
in.
the house. Carlos opened up the door. Did your brother come into the house then?
Into the house, no.
Did he just stay in the front?
Yes, Your Honor. He stayed
Oh.
in the doorway.
Okay. There came a time that day that the plaintiff left the property. He went to stay at a hotel. He did not come home on that night of the 27th.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's clear. When he left, where was your brother?
I have no idea.
And I don't believe that your brother left you alone there before he left.
So-
you have to understand,
The story-
if your father sent your brother to be there to
Your Honor,
protect
there
his
are
sister
whole-
from him,
There are things missing, and if you could tell you what actually happened that day, at least from my perspective, because it was never he left immediately. What happened was he came into my door at 7 o'clock in the morning, banging on my door, which I have a photo of the hole he put in my door, threatening me, asking if Gallo was inside of the room. He wanted to fight me and Gallo because Gallo told him to leave us alone. And he sent threatening texts to Gallo saying, I'm gonna beat you up and we could fade and bucko this, bucko that, all this. He's like, like that. I called Gallo like, hey, Carlos is banging on my door looking for you. He's like, yeah, I know. I saw the messages. I'm on my way. And I'm like, okay. So we're arguing. He's at my door. I call my dad because I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And he's like, oh, he gets upset. So he calls my brother. My brother, he happens to work in the West Side as a security guard. And he's like, well, Pops just called me. Do you need me to stop by?
I understand all that.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So after he gets there, sees Carlos outside, I go downstairs after Carlos goes to his room, and I talk with my brother, and he's like, well, what's going on? And he's like, why he don't want to come outside? And yes, my brother was very upset because I told him, like, you know, this man was threatening me.
That's hearsay.
Yes.
That's hearsay.
So,
okay, let's understand something. This all came about, pay attention. This all came about because the two of you work in the same place. You had been living in the apartment for 3 months, and there had been no other police incidents up until this time. For 3 months. This incident, according to what I'm putting together, happened because after your boyfriend Gallo left and had a conversation with him about arguments that you had had with him, which you're not going to tell me about now because you're going to tell me that never happened. That's not something people make up. And he said he got into your business. That's what you felt. He got into your business.
No,
and
Your Honor,
just
that's
a
not what I
second.
felt.
Just a second. And then you were talking about it to people where you both work. You acknowledged that you were talking to people about it where you both work.
Yes, Your Honor.
He got angry that you were bringing stuff that happened at home to work, and he came to confront you. That's
no, Your Honor, that's not. I have text.
That's exactly. Just a second.
What happened.
That's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
He came to my door because of these text messages. These text messages are time dated. He came to my door because he messaged him.
While I was at work over a dispute, it might have been about whatever the coworker said. He basically came to her door in his boxers.
No, listen to me. I'm making it simple, Gallo.
Defendant Naja Pine has accused her former roommate, Carlos Guillen, of getting her falsely arrested. Carlos claims Naja vandalized his property when he was gone.
It started because you told your girlfriend about the brief conversation you had with him. After an argument, you say no, you're not going to say yes. Now you're still together, right?
We're together, but
still
that's
together.
Not the issue of
okay,
why
and
here where we're at.
And she got annoyed because the person that she's renting a room from, who she works with, is telling her boyfriend, listen, you don't have to stand for that. You know, you got your whole life ahead of you. You know, move on with it.
Your Honor, that is not what happened.
Oh, really?
I'm begging you to listen to me.
Just show me.
He's not that type of person.
Gallo,
If
I may. So, what I have in my hand is a message where he came.
Just show me. Don't read it.
May I?
Get the message.
So, if you see it the first on the top page at the bottom, that message was birthed from him coming to my door while I was doing my hair and telling me to send him. He wanted to talk to. He had his boxes on. He wanted to talk to me.
Just a second. What is this supposed to tell me?
I'm telling you right now, and then you read the message. I'm going to tell you the story that led him to say that last message. Because what happened was I'm sitting in my bed doing my hair, minding my business. He walks to my door with just his boxers on, speakerphone with a female. He's like standing there in the doorway, and I look, and I'm like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? I'm like, all right, well, let me know when you're ready. And I closed the door in his face. Like, I closed it because he has his boxers on. He's standing there, and I'm minding my business doing my hair. So I basically tell him, you know, let me know when you are ready to talk because you're standing here in your boxers like I'm good. And so when I open the door after, he's like, all right, I'm ready to talk. He basically like, I'm not with your attitude.
Just a minute.
You don't slam the door in my face and all this other stuff. And so he texts Gallo that message you see there, say, hey, G, I'm not with her no more because she has an attitude problem. But I was upset because he was standing at my door in just his underwear. And so he texted him that. And then the next series of messages you'll see, Gallo told the plaintiff that basically you need to mind your business and I see what you on, like you're a hater. And Carlos responded and basically said, I want to fade. I want to fight. And you'll see those in the messages. He said, I want to fight. G, ain't got nothing to talk about. You're weird. All this buffoonery, the threats.
I don't have dates on this. Is this the 27th of August?
Yes, that is that morning.
The 27th of August.
That is that morning.
That's that morning.
And that is the morning he came banging to my door, which caused me to call my dad. He came to my door looking for Gallo to fight him.
I'm done with this case. I'm done. I'm done. You have a counterclaim.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to hear your counterclaim. Right now, this is a disaster, including the cutting up of the couch. There's no question that all of those items are worth $10,000. Now we're going to hear your counterclaim. And your counterclaim is that you were arrested falsely, tampering with tires, lost wages, and cyberbullying. I've read the messages. They're nasty. People say nasty things That's not cyberbullying.
No, there are more.
Well, I want you to circle the ones that you say was cyberbullying. Cyberbullying. Give her a pen, please, Kevin.
Thank you.
Don't give me anything that's not circled. Are you still living at the house, sir?
I have keys to the house, but
That's
I'm
not
not
what
living
I
there.
asked you. Are you still living there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm reading through these text messages. You said you can't fight stupid with stupid. Instead, I chose to remove my items and kick back in a 5-star hotel until my new place is ready.
Yes.
So you were moving into a new place.
I was, Your Honor. Yeah.
When did your lease start?
It would have started on September 10th, Your Honor.
Is the place furnished?
Not fully, Your Honor. No, I did get a new bed. That's about it as far as furniture and a dresser and like just the stuff I was able to save that she damaged at the home.
Just a second. Did you take the sofa?
No, I did not take the sofa.
Did you buy a new sofa?
No, I have a studio, so it can't fit.
So it doesn't fit?
No.
Anyway. So you were moving. So you purchased a new bed. Do you have the bill for the new bed?
Not on me, Your Honor, but it's
Well,
the
that's
same.
what, you know.
Yeah.
She may have destroyed all this stuff, but if you weren't taking the stuff with you anyway because you have a studio apartment,
Right. Yes, ma'am.
you had to buy a new bed. I could understand you not having this bed.
Right.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's not cyberbullying. Any of this is nasty, but it's not cyberbullying. He does say in these emails, he came crying to me at 7 in the morning talking about how she beats him, calls him names, and says she wants him out of her life. I simply told bro not to worry about himself, to move on, just like any person with common sense would. This trick decides to go around my job and tell people I'm dirty. I don't pay my bills, and I'm trying to blank her man. All right, so I've just stricken cyberbullying. You have bill for the bed, sir. And if you don't, I'm going to allow you to tell me what you spent for it, because so far the $10,000 is coming down. How much was the bed?
$5,000, Your Honor.
Show me.
I didn't bring the receipt for the new bed. It
Well-
was just for that bed that she damaged. Because I have a Kelly King now. She damaged my queen. So I have the comp for the queen bed that it was.
Well, I'd like to see that bed, which I see here, so you're going to show me a comp to this bed.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's move to false arrest. Well, you were arrested in part for vandalism, is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
Well, that's what the police report says.
Well, honestly, I haven't been able to see the police report, but I know that
The-
based on what officer gave me, I was arrested for theft.
Okay, what I'm telling you was the police report says he reported that the suspect vandalized property, also that property was missing from his bedroom, but he is clearly accusing you of vandalism. And the report says a report of theft, but the officer clearly arrested you probably for both charges because the police report says vandalism, and I find that was a legitimate arrest.
No, Your Honor.
That's what I find.
Okay.
Defendant Nigel Pine has accused her former roommate, Carlos Guillen, of getting her falsely arrested. Carlos claims Nigel vandalized his property when he was gone.
Did you find that for me?
Yes, I have an image of it, Your Honor. So sorry. Here you go. That's the mattress that she damaged.
So you had a queen and you bought a split king, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I bought a Cow King. Yes.
Okay, so that was $3,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And you left this bed here, or what did you do with it?
I had some people clean it. So
You had what people clean it?
I called my maintenance people who helps out with the house and stuff, and he got some of his crew, and they cleaned out and cleared out the whole apartment, Your Honor.
Cleaned out the whole apartment?
Yes.
What did they do with the bed?
I believe they trashed it, Your Honor. I'm not sure.
You don't know. Do you have a bill from them?
From them, no, Your Honor.
You don't have anything. I mean, what is it that you have? You don't have a bill for a new bed.
Yeah.
You have a bed that you say is comparable. You don't have a bill from the people who cleaned out the apartment, because I assume somebody had to clean this apartment if you were moving out.
Right.
Well, right. I know I'm right. All right. I'm getting more disgusted with this case at every turn. Strike $10,000. Tell me about your tires. When did you find your tires
So the
tampered
27th,
with?
after the police left, after we agreed to peace, I went upstairs to go to sleep.
He was still in the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the 27th?
And when I woke up, I was getting ready to go to work. I noticed the electricity was off, which in those papers I gave you, he stated he turned off the electricity.
Yes.
Electricity was off. Everything was gone as well. Like, not everything, but like weird random things, like the microwave was gone. It was like a PS4 and like some like game setup thing that was gone.
Okay.
Like all of the valuables were gone.
So he had taken some of the stuff out because he was moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he moved. Are you telling me he didn't move? Didn't move?
Not yet. No.
Oh, he's still there.
He was still there. But
I mean, today, now. Is he there now?
Oh, no, Your Honor. But he was still there. Like, his things were still there.
Some of his things were still there, but he took some things with him.
He took.
When he left on the 27th.
With the things he claimed was valuable. Anyway, so I go downstairs and I go to my car to go to work because, like I said, I didn't think this would go any further, to be honest with you. And all 4 of my tires were flat and missing out of my tires.
You have photographs of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Are these repeats? Oh, this is one with the timestamp. Thank you.
And he was not there?
No, Your Honor.
So were the tires flattened and slashed, or were they?
To be honest, I don't know, but they said there were holes in it and they weren't patchable at all.
So there were holes in all
Yes,
4?
Your Honor.
Do you have the bills for 4 new tires?
No. I paid cash. I should have.
That doesn't mean whether you paid cash or not. It means we're not talking about.
I
we're
wasn't
not
thinking
talking
about it,
about.
but I do have a receipt for the tow.
The tow I will
Yes.
take.
Which I ended up having. So we used Gallo's AAA, and it was his 4th tow, so he wasn't going to be able to get another one after that. So I ended up
I just
paying him for the extra tow, which is $90. And then I bought 4 new tires.
Well, I can't help you with the 4 new tires because
okay.
what you come here for is to prove to me any element of your claim. Right now, the plaintiff has not proven all the elements to his claim for $10,000. I believe he had to buy a new bed because that bed was destroyed. And I've already indicated who I believe is responsible for that. I do believe that he or somebody acting at his bequest, because I don't believe in serendipity and coincidence. This is far too coincidental. The damage to the home was far too coincidental to your argument with him, and the damage to your car is far too coincidental for me to be comfortable with. So I would, if you had a receipt, and we're not talking about years ago, we're talking about recently that you say you had to buy 4 new tires. Well, whether you pay cash or check for tires, you can get a receipt. And if you know you're coming to court, you're supposed to get a receipt. The same thing I'm telling you.
I didn't know I was going to court. I thought it was all over with, to be honest.
Very, very good. Judgment for the plaintiff on the complaint. My original order was for $3,000. From that, I'm reducing it by $90, so it's $29.10. Judgment for the plaintiff. That disposes of the counterclaim. Thank you very much. We're finished here.
This court is adjourned.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as early as 1 week.